Welcome to Blog 3! Vlog. See, I don't even know what I'm talking about. That's how new I am to this game. I did make a few videos when I was bicycle touring, but they were just so rubbish. I just didn't have the right equipment, and I was just so knackered at the end of every day. Thank you very much for joining me again. If you're here from the first two, if you're new, gosh, what can I say? It's going to be a slightly bumpy ride with me until I get the hang of this. But, I'm going to show you a part of the world that a lot of folks, particularly my European friends, don't get to see. Yeah, again, for those of you who are new, my name is Jackie. I've just moved back from Europe, where I've been living for about 30 years, living and working. And I've come back to Alberta, my home province, just to hang out with my elderly parents and revisit my old friends. So hope you stay with me. I've had a great week. Had a couple of really lovely pet sits, Alaskan Malamutes. I'm coming away with an entire jumper full of extra fur. Yeah, I actually had a late cancellation, which leaves me with a couple of weeks with no work, so nothing to do. So I thought I'd head west. I've made a bunch of food for my dad, so I'm going to stop by their place by the lake on my way out. And I'm going to go either to the mountains to Jasper, or I'm going to head towards Calgary again and use that as my base for a couple of weeks. And maybe head into Kananaskis if I lower my cheapo standards and buy a Kananaskis pass, which is about $90 for the year, plus the National Parks pass, which is another, I don't know, $75. Yeah, who knows? I'll decide when I get there, see how I feel. But winter is coming. There's a big, massive snowfall warning for the entire region of the Canadian prairies. So I'm going to have to be careful. My car needs a little bit of work. I've got good winter tires. I should be okay with traction, but I did want to invest in some tire chains before I actually encountered some major snow. So maybe I'll find some tire chains on the way. That'll make me feel a little bit better. Other than that, everything else, all of my other life support systems are working okay. Diesel heater is amazing. But the true test will be coming up because I've only used it down to about -7, -8. Now we're going into the double digits below 0 Celsius. So we'll see how that goes. I imagine I'll have to run my diesel heater full time through the night. I haven't had to do that yet. I've woken up to a chilly car, but I've got my little remote and I just turn it on and wait for 15 minutes before I crawl out of my sleeping bag if I can avoid a trip to the loo. Then it's all toasty and lovely. So we'll see how it goes. It's reality time, and winter in northern Canada is no joke. It's brutal. You have to be prepared. So we'll see. There. I didn't even see you there. I just arrived. Kelly? How are you?
And with grocery prices higher than ever these days, we are asking, how are you getting food on the table? Out there, essentially it's an inexpensive alternative to
Oh, good morning. Well, chilly night last night, minus 9, 10 outside. And inside the van, I decided to turn off the diesel heater before I fell asleep. And it got to minus 4 here inside the van. So I think that's probably a good indication of my limit. I didn't freeze, and that's the most important thing. I was pretty cozy under my covers. I've got a pretty good minus 10 degree sleeping bag. So yeah, I had a pretty good sleep. I'm at a kind of free camping area just outside of Hinton. For those of you who know the geography here, well, I obviously planned now to go to Jasper and not to Calgary. The reason being, well, Calgary is getting quite a bit of snow in the next few days. Jasper is going to be maybe a little bit overcast, but no snow. And I want to go see if I can find some walks up that way. And if everything goes well, the snow doesn't hit the Icefields Parkway and the Icefields Parkway is open. One of the most scenic drives in the world. I do it quite a bit, actually. I guess I need my fix every once in a while. But we'll see. I mean, I reserve the option to go to BC, anywhere. I'm kind of free for a couple of weeks. Ain't that nice? Oh, first glimpse of the Rockies here from the rest stop. That always gives me goosebumps. Wow. In Hinton, gonna make a fuel stop here and think about which direction to head to. Could go to Alaska if I really wanted to. It's just on the right. Always take the opportunity to fill up your little diesel tank. You never know when you're going to get stuck or stranded somewhere. Well, that cost me $3 to top up my diesel tank, and it was full yesterday. So that means, without running the diesel heater all night long, so I probably ran it for about 4 hours, somewhere between second level and fifth level, which is the highest, or sixth level, which is the highest. Probably ran it for about 4 hours. So if I run it all night, it's going to be an expensive winter. But that's okay. If I decide to go to BC, I still don't know where I'm going. I have this hankering to turn right and go north, but I don't know how prudent that is. I think I might have to stop somewhere and have a coffee and think about it. Yeah, really tough decision. It's so beautiful out today. It could lull me into a sense of false security. Yes, whether or not it's wise to go too remote, don't know. Oh, good evening. Well, I found myself a beautiful spot just a little west of Hinton, perched up off a logging road leading to a recreational area that's open during the summer, and making myself a nice little fried rice dish for my dinner. And don't worry, I'm not worried about using my canister stove in here. I've got a window cracked open. I've got a CO2 detector here. I've got a mixed smoke detector and CO2 detector as a backup. And I also have a nice fresh fire extinguisher right here, just in case. And here I have my power station. This is a bit Christmas lighty, appropriate for this time of year. So I don't know if you can hear my diesel heater ticking away in the background. It's at its lowest setting. In fact, it's at the lowest alpine setting, which is even lower. And it is 22 degrees Celsius in here. And it's -8 outside right now, so not doing too badly. I'm going to survive -20, which is coming next week. And, you know, it's going to go down, I'm sure, a few times this winter to -40. All good? Hey! I just love it. It's cozy. It's like a Japanese capsule hotel room, and but it's mine. The weather hasn't turned out quite as nicely as the forecast had predicted. However, I'm heading to Switzer, and I've never been here before, so it's all new to me. I'm just getting my winter driving chops. I'm not so worried about crashing or hitting the ditch or anything like that. I should be, but I am more worried about having to be rescued in a very expensive manner. This is looking pretty steep. I think I'm going to turn around. Well, back on the main road, which is nice and clear. I'll head to the visitor center. We'll see if they've got that fairly accessible. Of course, I'm not going to put it on a plate. I'm not a big fan of doing dishes in a minivan in the middle of winter. be the friendly vista. Somebody left some wood nicely lit. Well, if I can find enough kindling without breaking any of the rules, maybe I'll have a nice little fire. Definitely one of the privileges of camping in Canada when it's not forest fire season. Well, I can't believe it. I just had such a fantastic afternoon. I'm so glad that I didn't let the weather put me off. You never regret it when you go out. There were many bonuses to coming out on a day like today. Number one, I was the only person here. It's fantastic. Coming to the provincial park, to the sort of main day use area, and then using trails that go out from here felt like the safest option, as I'm just finding my winter hiking feet. I haven't been out for a long time. I'm not a spring chicken. I'm sort of a middle life chicken, and I don't have tons of gear, so this is a good way to get an idea of what I'm going to want to use down the road a bit. One thing that I did forget to take out even on my short little walk, and I very quickly realized, was my long johns. So next time, 1 or 2 more layers. Top body was fine. Yeah, there's nothing like getting out in nature when you can. It just sets your whole mind on a different course. A better course, hopefully. Well, I'm going to enjoy my fire now. I think that's going to be it for this episode. I'm going to head back to Hinton. I'm going to try and find a better weather app and get a really good idea of what's coming up over the next week. And then we'll go somewhere else if we can. Oh, it's a roaring fire now. Oh, that feels good. Yeah, I'm just being super prudent because there's some pretty serious weather conditions all over the western part of Canada, and I'm not feeling super confident yet. So yeah, I'll go have a little think about it tomorrow. Maybe I'll go visit the little museum in Hinton and have a low-key day tomorrow. All right, so we'll see you then, and thank you for coming with me today. It was it's been pretty magical. Recommend it to anybody.